Hello, I'm Deepak and I'm going to sing a beautiful song from 1976 movie Kabhi Kabhi Main Pal Do Pal Ka Shayar Hoon by Mukesh. This was the last movie that Mukesh gave the songs because he died in Detroit, Michigan in 1976, I think in August. The movie was produced and directed by Yash Chopra. Story was written by his wife Pamela Chopra, but the movie is actually based on the poem by Sahir Ludhianvi that he wrote in 1943. And Yash Chopra was reading this poem and he got the idea to make the movie. Music was given by Khayyam. Yash Chopra wanted Lakshmikant parallel, but Ludhianvi convinced him to use Khayyam. And he gave excellent music. He won the Filmfare Award for music. Sahir Ludhianvi won for the best lyrics. Mukesh won for the best song of the year. That was his last award. Movie was box office hit and well liked. Movies was shot in Kashmir, and Yash Chopra was very happy. It was like a whole family. Some of the family members that came participated in the as extras in the movie. As a matter of fact, Amitabh Bachchan's parent, uh, participated in the wedding shooting in this movie. This song Khayyam had already recorded. Uh, Kabhi Kabhi Mere Dil Mein Khayal for 1960s movie starring Devanand and Geeta Bali. Chetan Anand was going to produce and direct the movie. And the song was recorded with Geeta Dutt and Sudha Malhotra. But suddenly Geeta Bali died, so the movie was never made. So he used that song for this movie. Also, uh, Rishi Kapoor and Neetu Singh, they met in this movie and they fell in love and got married in 1980. So there are a lot of things in this movie. Uh, Now, Amit or Amitabh Bachchan was an angry man, very popular, but in this, he is a lover and a nice guy. And people thought the movie will not be successful, but it was proved wrong. So he is a poet. He sings a poem in the college, and Raki falls in love with him. That is Pooja. But they cannot marry because Raki's parents have decided to marry her off to Shashi Kapoor. That is, he's an architect and his name is Vijay. So Amit is very disappointed and stops writing poem and then takes over his father's rock mine. And he marries Anjali, that is Vaida Rahman. They eventually have a daughter named Switi, who, when grown up, is played by Naseem. And Pooja and Vijay have a son. When he grows up, that is Rishi Kapoor. His name is Vicky. Pooja is a TV host, and she interviews Amit and asks why he stopped writing poem. So Vijay intervenes and says that well, maybe he was very upset about a bad breakup, not realizing that it was his own wife that he was in love with. Soon, Vicky meets a beautiful young woman, that is Pinky, played by Neetu Singh. He wants to marry her, so they get engaged. Now, Pinky finds out that she's actually adopted by Dr. Kapoor, Parikshit Sahani, and Mrs. Kapoor, that is Simi Garewal. So she finds out that actually Anjali is her mother. So she goes to meet her in Kashmir, and they embrace, and Anju acknowledges her as her daughter, but to her husband she introduces as her niece from Delhi. And then what happens is now Vicky is missing Pinky, so he comes to Kashmir also, and they, in the meantime, Sweetie sees Vicky and she falls in love with him. So Amit and Anju decide to marry them off, and then Pinky tells her mom that, look, mom, you cannot do that because I am already engaged to Vicky. So now Anju goes back to her husband to convince him that, look, let's marry Pinky and Vicky because they are in love. So Amit questions her, why is she doing that, favoring her niece over her own daughter? Then Anju is forced to tell him the truth that Pinky is also her daughter born out of wedlock. Amit is very upset because she did not tell him all this before. Now, Amit wants to do some construction architect work, so he meets Vijay, and uh, Vijay overhears Amit and Pooja talking about their past love, and he confronts Amit, but in the end they reach understanding. Usually, men understand quickly, right? So now Anju is at home and she's upset because Amit is not accepting her apology. So she decides to leave forever. Now, Sweetie sees Pinky and Vicky embracing. So she throws a temper tantrum and starts crying and she wants to commit suicide. So she jumps onto a horse and runs into the mine. So Vicky runs after her on the horse, and Amit and Vijay and Pinky, they all go in a van to save her. Now, Pinky also gets caught into the fire, and she's saved by Vijay, whereas uh, Sweetie gets caught into the fire, and then Vicky tells her that, look, don't do this, don't go into the fire because I am already engaged to Pinky. Then Sweetie realizes her mistake, and then both are saved by Amit. They all unite. Amit comes home rushing and apologizes to his wife, and so they unite, and that is the end of the movie. And they marry off Vicky and Pinky. So that's the end of the movie. So let's listen to this song, मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ by Mukesh. मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ, पल दो पल मेरी कहानी है, पल दो पल मेरी हस्ती है, पल दो पल मेरी जवानी है। मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ, पल दो पल मेरी कहानी है, पल दो पल मेरी हस्ती है, पल दो पल मेरी जवानी है। मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ। मुझसे पहले कितने शायर आए और आकर चले गए, कुछ आहें भर कर लौट गए, कुछ नगमे गाकर चले गए। वो भी एक पल का किस्सा थे, मैं भी एक पल का किस्सा हूँ, कल तुमसे जुदा हो जाऊंगा, वो आज तुम्हारा हिस्सा हूँ। मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ, पल दो पल मेरी कहानी है, पल दो पल मेरी हस्ती है, पल दो पल मेरी जवानी है। मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ। कल और आएंगे नगमों की खिलती कलियां छूने वाले, मुझसे बेहतर कहने वाले, तुमसे बेहतर सुनने वाले। कल कोई मुझको याद करे, क्यों कोई मुझको याद करे, मसरूफ जमाना मेरे लिए क्यों वक्त अपना बर्बाद करे। मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ, पल दो पल मेरी कहानी है, पल दो पल मेरी हस्ती है, पल दो पल मेरी जवानी है। मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ, पल दो पल मेरी कहानी है, पल दो पल मेरी हस्ती है, पल दो पल मेरी जवानी है। मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ। Thank you very much.